Hi, everyone. All right, give me 1 second here while we get everybody admitted. Welcome, everyone. My name is Rachel Lee. I'm the founder of Whole Woman Health and The Shed, where I've worked with women for over 11 years. I'm a mother of two, a 13-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old son, and that's been very interesting. Challenging to say the least, but also lovely. So I understand the struggles that you also go through if you are a parent as well. I'm originally from northern Wisconsin, and I ended up in Denver by way of a few years as a ski bum in Vail. I love to mountain bike. A little bit about me, I love to mountain bike. I love to camp and be in nature, yet turn around and eat at some of the finest restaurants in the city. And it's, my brand, I guess what I've decided to call it is dirt and fine dining. When people ask me how to describe me, if you will. I'm also a fierce advocate of women living their best lives, which is why I created The Shed, because I kept seeing women struggle with their weight, their health, and their relationship with food and its impact on their overall enjoyment of life. I've seen it over and over and over again. It was the same theme. And I knew I had to offer women a new way to approach weight loss, a way that went, beyond society's outdated prescription of counting calories, group weigh-ins, restrictive, unrealistic meal plans, quite frankly. I wanted to offer them the opportunity to feel in control, to feel confident and assured when it came to their diet. I also knew that it needed to go deeper if it was going to stick. If you wanted it to go beyond 30 days, 60 days, it had to address the internal health too, like hormones and metabolism, digestion, food sensitivities, and detoxification. And it must include a strong foundation of psychology because, ladies, the brain controls everything we do. So understanding how we operate is essential. I took this to heart when I built The Shed. And one of the pieces that I also recognized was community. It needed community. The Shed, you, women, so you could connect with other women for inspiration, support, and accountability. And so 10 years in the making of gathering my best tools is the result of The Shed. It's where nutrition science, functional health, and psychology all converge. And what I can tell you is it will be like any other program you've ever done. I say this because that is what my shedders have told me. They also tell me it's the most challenging, yet the most impactful thing that they have done when it comes to health and weight loss. Yet every one of them was a resounding yes when I asked them if the effort was worth it. Why? Because it pulled all the pieces together. They were already good at losing weight, right? But maybe not maintaining it. Why? Why did they feel bloated all the time? Why did they have PMS? Because we don't actually have to, women. Why their weight wouldn't budge no matter what they tried? Why they continue to eat dessert and drink wine when they said they wouldn't? There's so many whys. Why? We took all of that and put the pieces of the puzzle together. These and so many more are what we address in The Shed. So much so, we even do laboratory testing to show you the reason why. Data. So you can see that no matter the amount of willpower you have had, sometimes it may not be enough if there's an underlying system problem. And this is what most of the weight loss programs will never touch. They will never identify if you have a systems problem. And that is what can make weight loss so difficult. That can remove the why of I do everything and nothing changes right there. And then we can address that. We identify this with you and for you. So if this sounds intriguing, different for sure, then just stay with me a little longer and I'll show you what the shed looks like step by step, the results you can expect from 5 years of history and 10 years of working in functional health, and then open up the conversation to any questions. But before I do this, I have to tell you that as soon as you register, you immediately have access to the community. As soon as you register, you're a shedder. You're one of us. You get access to the private Facebook community where you can start connecting with other women. You can get coaching that I do on there, weekly live coaching, feedback from questions from other shedders. You get the energy of being in the shed and being with the women there who are starting at square one, just like you, and who have been shedding for years. You get to ask them for support and tips, ideas, and accountability. These are your people to lean on. And additionally, you will immediately be sent month 1 shed kit, which includes a dietary antigen test. Now that's like fancy for food allergy and sensitivity, because the sooner that you can get this test done, the sooner you'll have the results, the sooner you can begin dialing in your nutrition and reducing inflammation. And so what does that actually mean? It means decreased weight, decreased inches, improved energy, optimizing health, and improving your immune system. Okay, so there are 3 phases of the shed. So I'm gonna ask you to hang on. I'm gonna go through each phase, and then after I talk about what the entire shed includes, I'm gonna open it up for conversation, and we're just gonna talk, a bunch of women having a conversation about how we're gonna do this, okay? So 3 phases of the shed: detox, refine, and maintain. First 30 days, we are going to clean you out. We're going to reduce foods that we know are allergenic, commonly allergenic and inflammatory. We're going to flood your system with whole foods because we eat during this program. And we also use medical grade supplements, but not a ton. Don't worry, everybody asks about that. Just very specific, tested, proven for efficacy supplements. We allow your body the time, the tools, and the space during this first 30 days to mobilize fat stores, which fat is what holds your toxins, to purge these toxins and then support the associated organs, if you will. See, this is where my geeky nutrition science comes in: the liver, the lymphatic system, and the colon. You'll also begin regulating your hormones like leptin, ghrelin, and insulin, which those 3 right there can throw you off completely if they are all not in sync with each other. So essentially what we do is we clean house to establish a new baseline for you, right? We want to just get everything out and have a nice clean terrain to work with going forward. Then the second phase is refinement. So your next 30 days, your food allergy results have been in. They should be in by the time if you got going right away. You're going to take that information and start to refine your nutrition by pausing foods from your report and playing with others. And yes, I said play, believe it or not, because we have to have some fun here. We don't want to do things that aren't fun. And that's what I see a lot of women do, is like they make weight loss miserable, but quite frankly, that's what they've been taught. I'm going to teach you a different way, how to make it less stressful, more enjoyable, more curious, really doing it for you and your health and what you actually want. Okay, so we're going to refine this and help you design a plan that feels best for you, matches your lifestyle. I talk about that a lot, yet still gets you results. Okay, so it's our play period. And then the last 30 days is the maintenance plan. That's where you learn to make your nutrition protocol based on science, experiment, and desire specific for you. You're going to learn to maintain it. Okay, because many times women will get to the weight loss and the struggle has been so hard. It's been so exhausting. They're so beat up that they just quit. You just can't maintain that anymore, that intensity. We don't do that here, okay? We're going to teach you to maintain it through thoughtfulness, compassion, grace, excitement, confidence, courage. We're going to teach you to stay in your lane, but you're actually going to want to stay in your lane, right? The desire to be there is stronger than the desire to go back because it's ease and flow. And then you're going to work that. That's the 30 days. From there, okay? Not from there, but I guess in addition to, I'm going to give you all the tangibles, okay? But I'm going to tell you the real reason that you might want to do the shed. The tangibles are this. It's jam-packed, so just hang with me. And you can find this on the website too, wholewomanhealth/shed. But the tangibles are that you have weekly live coaching with me, with your cohort, with your other women. You have access to myself and my team of female practitioners that work specifically with women. We review your food journal 3 times a week if you choose to food journal. Okay, it's not for everyone. You get agency and authority in this program. You have access to myself via a private chat feature. It's HIPAA compliant and completely secure. If you have any personal questions that you need to ask, 24/7 access to your Facebook community of shedders, includes 5 years of past shedders. So they are a wealth of knowledge. I answer questions there. I coach there. My team is also available to support you there if you have questions. The program includes 3 at-home workouts each week, meal plans for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for all 3 months, vegetarian and omnivore. Like I mentioned, medical grade supplements, only 4, the dietary antigen test, which is your food allergy and sensitivity test, of course, and a review of findings. So you actually know how to interpret it and know what to do with it. And a printed and digital workbook guiding you through the entire 90 days. But I guide you and my team guides you as well. It's packed. There's probably something in there that I've forgotten to. There's just so many tangibles that it's very hard to not have your question answered or have a guide or a playbook, okay? It's, like I said, it's 10 years of data and my very best resources that I've used for hundreds of women. It's all yours. But really, okay, listen, really what you want weight loss. You want inches lost. You want your body stronger, leaner, smaller. You have more energy and motivation and improved digestion and less bloating, increased libido, clear skin, quality, restful sleep. You want to wear all the clothes in your closet drama-free. You just want to put them on, button them up. They work. They fit comfortably. You want to look in the mirror and you want to feel proud of what you see. You don't want to avoid mirrors or when you have pictures, right? You don't want to position other people or your kids in front of you and then hide behind them. You want to be free of confusion and overwhelmed with your food and your weight. You want some damn help, right? You want some help figuring this out so you can feel good again. So if you want this, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how it's possible. But before you go, or if you got to jump off, if you're not interested, because that's okay too. It's not for everybody, right? You got to be ready. You're going to get big results, but you're going to put in big effort. And it's the best effort you're ever going to do. But I have to tell you, I just was prepping for this. And I was like, you know what? For anybody that's on this call and decides to join before 7 p.m. this Saturday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I'm also going to give you 3 months free access to our Shed for Life program at no charge. And the Shed for Life program is our maintenance program. It's weekly coaching. Monthly, you still have access to everything, plus a bunch of extra tools, deeper coaching, all of your community, right? After you complete your first 90 days, you will have 3 months free of the Shed for Life coaching at $300 value, if you want to do it, if it's there. Okay, so I have talked for quite a while. I want to open this up to you and see what questions you have. What are you curious about? Let's have a conversation. Also, if you don't want to come on video, here's another thing you can do. On the bottom of the Zoom is a chat feature. Feel free to go in there and just put your chat questions, and I'll get them. Make sure you put it to me or to everyone, whichever you want. We'll all help you, okay? What questions do you have? I have a couple too that people sent me in advance because they couldn't jump on. Can you please share more about how getting my mind right will help with weight loss and keep it off? I like that right, as if there's a right way and a wrong way, but there can be. You can have a very sabotaging brain. You can have very sabotaging beliefs. So one of the ways that coaching psychology will help you lose the weight is that everything, okay, I'm gonna back this up. Everything in our life, for the most part, everything we do is created. It has to start in our brain. It's created in our brain. We have to have the thought, stay with me, to release the chemical that actually triggers the action. So if that's the pathway, wouldn't it make sense to figure out how to create an intentional thought, releasing intentional chemicals to actually get the result you want? Prime example, okay? I just coached a woman today on her belief that when her mom comes into town, so she's got her mom and her sisters in coming to town, and she believes that that means she has to participate. She's like, I have to have wine with them. Otherwise, I'll be left out. Okay, but you're not left out. So I have to coach you on seeing that you're totally part of the love. You're totally part of the family. But we have to change that so you don't continue to feel left out, whether it's with your family or your girlfriends or your kids or at work. So you don't continue to feel left out, because when you feel left out, you participate in the things that you said you didn't want to do. We don't want that. We want to change that behavior. So if everything stems in the brain, you need the tools to know how to direct yourself to actually get the results you want. How do you stay on track, right? How do you manage your brain through all the multiple decisions that you have throughout the day, right? Like this morning, I walked upstairs and there's cookies. And I was like, the first thought I had was like, oh, I should have a cookie. And I'm like, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't think I need a cookie. But if we're not aware of that and we're not managing and in charge of it, we're going to grab the cookie. That's not going to get us the weight loss that we want. We have to learn how to maintain. We have to learn how to manage desire. We have to break up sometimes familial beliefs and patterns that we were also given from our families and our cultures. So it all stems in the brain. Good question. And I could go into that forever. Could you please share what kind of foods we're going to eat? Are the foods restrictive? Foods that we eat are whole foods from the earth. So the philosophy is grow it, kill it, eat it. So we're really going to focus on lots of nutrient dense foods, meaning vegetables, fruit, some grains, animal protein if you choose, plant protein if you choose, all stemming from the earth. Now, it's not restrictive in the sense of you're only limited to chicken breast, rice, and vegetables. We don't do that here. Okay, I want you to have an abundance of food available to you. What we do though is we give you agency to choose foods to pause. Now, we give you the guideline. Okay, so we say, week 1, we're going to pause, let's say gluten and dairy. Week 2, we're going to pause gluten, dairy, sugar. Week 3, gluten, dairy, sugar, alcohol. But ultimately, you have the agency over this. You have the decision-making power. So you can pause as many as you would like. You can start nice and slow and just do one at a time, but we never bring you to restriction. We want you eating food, quality food. We don't even focus on calories. Because if you're eating nutrient-dense foods from the earth, we don't have to worry about calories. You will never have to count calories, macros, or weigh your food again, or count points. That's another one, okay? So pausing by choice, never restricting. Can you please share how this might work with a family function too? Would it just apply to me? Or can I apply it to the family? The diet, I mean, I know the supplements and lab testing is just for me, but can I apply the food diet to my family? Of course. There's nothing on there that kids can't eat. I always tell people this, like, it's like you do the shed, but then your whole family does the shed and everybody reaps the benefit of it because everybody feels better. So if you have little kids, might your kids not like it or be used to it, especially if they've been living off of like macaroni and dino nuggets, macaroni and cheese and dino nuggets, they might not be like totally on board with you. But none of the food is so far out there that anybody couldn't eat. It's all available. And in fact, I encourage it. Good question. I'm a vegetarian. Will the shed work for me? 100%. Yep. We have a complete 90-day menu for vegetarian. And the great thing too is it's super fun because on the Facebook site, the shedders start experimenting with different recipes and they're, going on Pinterest and Instagram and they're finding really fun, delicious recipes and they start sharing them. And then we all get the benefit of it. So our book, our shed book, our recipe book, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So 100% vegetarian will work. Vegan, we do not have a specific menu for vegans. And so you would need to modify. The vegetarian menu is pretty clean though. I will say the majority is some fish and even then it's pretty minimal. Any other questions coming in? When do we kick off? We kick off for the March cohort. We are going to kick off on March 2nd. Our coaching calls will be 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Wednesdays. When does registration close? Registration closes, great question, February 20th. Cohorts are small, by the way, ladies, okay? This is not like you join and there's 80 women in the cohort. We keep it small. We have 17 women in the January cohort because we need to give you individualized attention, yet still be in a group. Okay, so a lot of times when you do these group programs, you're kind of left on your own and you're like, they say, go check the app, only reach out. Sometimes it's impossible to reach out. No, we are completely with you in this program. We're checking in on you. We're making sure that every step of the way that you're like having the support and the community that you need. We're always looking for areas that could potentially be roadblocks and trying to catch them in advance to support you. We know about you. I could tell you about every single one of my shedders in the January cohort right now. What they eat, how they eat, their relationship, their career, their food sensitivities, if they have underlying health conditions, helping them navigate additional testing, whether that be functional lab testing or allopathic testing. We know everything about them and we want that because we want every single woman to cross the finish line. We never want you to feel like you're on an island and doing this by yourself. That's not what we do here. It's not what we're about. What if I'm not a shake person? I love this one. We have this one a lot because we have shakes. Once a day, we're having a nutrient-dense detoxification shake for the course of the entire shed. It cleans you out. And I don't mean like you have to go to the bathroom all the time. I mean it like literally your lymphatic system. It's just like the best way to describe it. It's just like you just feel clean, like you feel energized and clean. So if you're not a shake person, here's what I'm going to offer you. I've heard this before, and I would say give it a shot. And a workaround, it's so fun, but some people have done is like make a smoothie bowl instead. Something about the smoothie bowl like completely changes their perspective of the shake. So yes, you do need to take it. You don't have to make the shake your meal. We can feed you with other foods and just make that as a complement. My doctor and I have been working on my stomach issues. Does your program offer natural solutions rather than antibiotic-based solutions? Definitely. Depends on what you're working on. So leaky gut, I don't want to go into that, all the nuances of the stomach because, right, it's so complex. 100% we can bring in herbals, supplements, and foods that will support your gut health. Now, we are also not anti-allopathic medicine. So if we identify something and we're like, listen, you need to, like our recommendation, you don't need to do anything, but our strong recommendation is that you go to a doctor, we're going to tell you that. And we will help guide you through that process and help talk about the pros and the cons, okay? Because sometimes you might need a prescription. We're not against that if it's in the best interest of you, but ultimately, again, it's your agency, but 100%. Now, with that said, okay, with that said, it's not a private coaching program. This is not a private weight loss program. So there's a fine line of us supporting you versus moving into private therapy. Okay, so we just got to balance that. And if you think that maybe you're going to need individualized support, then by all means, I encourage you to reach out to us and we can schedule you with our GI specialists and do some private nutrition therapy. Okay. You mentioned supplements. What do those look like? Great question. Will they help with weight loss? Another great question. What do they taste like? Okay. So there's 4 supplements that we use. Clean and Lean protein powder. It's a combination of a multivitamin, protein with all the amino acids, of course, and then herbals for detoxification. Right now we have vanilla. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're mixing it with just water, it's not super delicious. It's kind of like it's like any protein powder that you would drop in water. Now, if you're going to make it with some milk alternative, a little bit, I always advocate, add your vegetables to your smoothie because then you're getting them in and you're already on your way for the day. So add those, maybe add some fruit, then they're super, super good, right? Even if you just do the Clean and Lean protein with some milk alternative, even that tastes delicious. So we're also working on some chocolate. It's just not available to us just yet. So hang tight, maybe in a couple months it will be. Will they help me with weight loss? 100%. Let me go back to the other thing. I skipped over the supplements. So you've got the Clean and Lean protein powder. You've got a probiotic called ProBio Slim. It's a broad spectrum daily probiotic to support gut health. You'll have what's called tummy toner. It is designed to help bind product waste, quite frankly, bind waste in your colon and excrete it. It does not cause loose stools. It does not cause urgency. It just keeps everything going because when we change our diet, most times we're increasing our fiber intake and sometimes that can slow things down. And, elimination is extremely important in detoxification and overall health. So that's the tummy toner. And the last one is a drainage. It's a homeopathic liquid drop that you take twice a day and it supports your lymphatic system. So naturally kicks in your internal system to do its own job. That's what homeopathics do. They stimulate internally, working with your body to help your lymphatic clear waste so that you can excrete that. They definitely help with weight loss. It's one of the key components to restoring your health from root cause. Everybody needs to be detoxing in our world. We put so many products on us. We are breathing chemicals in our air. We're sleeping on mattresses that are loaded with fire retardants. There's so many places that we are exposed to toxins. It should be something that everyone does 3 to 4 times a year. But beyond that, right, when we clear toxins from our body can deflame. We are not forming an attack on all these toxins. And when our body forms an attack, right, we pool water to that area. And what happens when you pool water is you swell, you weigh more and you're bigger in size. That's kind of the same philosophy, or not the same, that's the same mechanism with the food sensitivity test. So if you bring in food that your body does not like, what's going to happen is your body's going to recognize it as a foreign invader. It's going to pool water to that area, increase inflammation, which then you weigh more and you're bigger. And then it's got a bunch of downstream effects. So that's why we do that food allergy and sensitivity testing. So important. These are really good questions. What are the results that most women get? Okay, gotcha. Good question. Totally varies, just like anything when you're talking about the body. What we can do though from 5 years of data is we can look and say, okay, on average for the majority of women, for example, they will lose a minimum of 10 pounds. And quite frankly, a lot of women will lose that in the first 30 days. Okay. But more importantly, and maybe not to you yet, once you join the shed, is the inches lost. Because let's be real, right? We want to actually physically be smaller. We want our size to be smaller. So that's inches. We talk about that data point way more than we talk about what the number on the scale is. Because quite frankly, what if the number in the scale stayed the same or stayed higher than you'd like, but your body was shrunken down and it was solid and it was lean and it was like a machine? You wouldn't care so much about the actual number on the scale. So most women, first 30 days, they can lose up to 10 pounds, easily 10 inches. So I have to tell you this one. One of our shedders who shedded, her December numbers, she lost her mind. She was like, I only lost 2 pounds, like 2 pounds, that's it. And I was like, how many inches did you lose? She's like, oh, 25 inches. 25 inches, hold on. Oh my God, I have to show you that. Do you know what 25 inches looks like? It's like a baby. That's 25 inches. She's this much smaller. That's phenomenal. Wouldn't you kill to be this much smaller? I think that's why you're here. This is what we're going for. Because that not only is an indicator like, okay, yeah, you're losing, right? Like this is good, like we're doing the right thing, but it's also an indicator that we're reducing inflammation, which is going to give you optimal health long-term, longevity on this earth, decreased health conditions. There's so many benefits to this program beyond just weight loss. It's crazy. That's our core value, right? It's got to support you and your experience and your time on this earth being as healthy as you can. Another question. I've heard that detoxing is hard. What symptoms should I anticipate feeling? How long does it take to get over them? How long before I start feeling good? What else is important for me to know? I love this. Great questions. Okay, detoxing is hit and miss. It totally depends. So I can say sometimes it feels terrible, in which case I will tell you, good. We can slow it down so it's not as intense. But if you're detoxing, that's a sign that your body is doing what it needed to do rather than storing all these chemicals in, it's releasing. And that can feel like headaches. Sometimes you can have skin breakouts. You can feel lethargic, foggy headed. I know for me, I get very foggy headed. I can't think very clearly and I have to sleep a lot more. But that usually just lasts, some people, it's going to last 3 days, depending on their body's ability to detox. Some people, it can last a week. So the great thing is because you have access to myself and my team of nutrition therapists, we can say, hey, okay, let's slow this down a little bit. There's no rush here. We do not have to push your body. It's not going to like it. Let's just be thoughtful and kind. Okay, so we help you mitigate that. We help you manage that. We have the resources for that. And it's also in the manual. So if you do start experiencing that, you can refer to the manual, but also just lean on us. What symptoms? I talked about that. How long does it take? Talked about that. How long before you start feeling good? Most people start feeling good week 2. Week 3, amazing. Week 4, they were like crazy. On our coaching call today, one of the women who has decided she took a little bit of a break. She had some other things and she's like, I'm just not prioritizing this, which is great that she's coming to coaching so she can bring it back into prioritization. But she said, she's like, I just want that crazy energy that I used to have. I'm like, okay, we can do it. We can get that back, right? But I had to coach her on how to do that. She was in a little bit of overwhelm. It's the great thing about coaching. What else is important for me to know? So many things that you just need to really consider doing this if you want to do weight loss differently. If you want to do weight loss through health first, that's important to know. I say that. Okay, hold on. I have another question. How well I know what to do to lose 25 inches? Do we have a system? Yes, we have a total system. Okay, week by week by week. Week 1, do this. Week 2, do this. Week 3, do this. Okay, so we walk you through Now, with that in mind, if we're noticing that you and the cohort need something different, I'm not beyond saying, you know what, we're not doing this in week 3. I've got something else for you that's going to be more impactful for where you're at right now. It's not rigid. Okay. It has to be flexible, because rigid doesn't work. That's what you've been given as weight loss programs, is like, just do this, get your blinders on and just do this. It doesn't make sense. Okay. We got to be able to expand and breathe and pivot, so that way you and all the women in your cohort cross the finish line. What if I can't attend all the coaching calls? Great question. Okay. I highly encourage you to attend the coaching calls live, because then you can get coached. You can listen to other people get coached. You can answer all the questions. You can be in that energy with the women. If you cannot do that, then you have the option to join a backup coaching call on Wednesdays. It's just a bonus for you, right? So you can do that. And then finally, the third option for you is we record all of our coaching calls and then send them out within 24 hours. So you can watch them on your own time. These are really good questions, everyone. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Is anything else coming up for you? I will say this. I think what is important to know is that you are doing better than you think. You have a really good base. I know this. I know the women that come to me, they research and they look things up and they learn and they try different things. Sometimes like they're trying too many things and they even say it. They're like, I'm tired of yo-yo dieting. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you've got a baseline. You just might not believe it because it may not have stuck, or it's not getting you the results that you want at the level that you want them. So I want to encourage you. I want you to know that, like, you have more agency and you've done a really good job. Now this is your opportunity just to go deeper. It's like you've just graduated from college. This is your opportunity to do your master's and your PhD, to take it further. Because I know you can do this. I've seen it over and over and over and over again. You just have never had a platform to do it differently, to do it an up-leveled way, to do it a scientific way. Psychology, the science of psychology, the science of functional medicine, the science of nutrition, the science of anatomy and chemistry. You've never been given that opportunity to experience it this way, at least that I know of. I've never seen it out there. So whatever you decide to do, whether you join us or you just kind of stalk us on social media for a while, or you do your own thing, just, I would say, believe and trust that you have a wisdom deeper than you give yourself credit for. You can totally do this. You can totally hit your goal. Keep going. Don't stop. Never give up on yourself. You're totally worth the weight loss. It's available to you. And I hope that you will consider joining us. Any other questions before we end? You might want to know how much this costs. So our program is $29.99. We break it into 3 monthly payments. As soon as you register, you're one of us. You are part of the community. You immediately get access. Within 24 hours, we send you your kit. So it takes about a week. You'll have your entire program manual. You have all the supplements, and you'll get your dietary antigen test within 7 to 10 days. I highly encourage you, right, if you do the dietary antigen test, to get that done right away. It is a blood test, so you will have to schedule with a phlebotomy center. We can help you navigate this as well. We want you reaching out because you're part of us, right? You get access to us. I hope you consider, if you want to join now. Oh, all right. If you want to join now, how do I sign up? Here's how you're going to sign up. I'm going to put a link to the registration in the chat feature right now. Give me a second. You're going to head to our website. pause with me while I do this. Okay, you're going to head to our website. On there, there's more information. There's also testimonials, and the register now is a quarter of the way down. Go ahead and register, get signed up. We're in Colorado. You can do, yes. Okay, great question. I'm going to segue real quick here. If you want to sign up, definitely do it now. When you sign up, we're going to automatically make sure that you are flagged so that you have access to those 3 free months of the membership, the Shed for Life membership. Okay. Don't have to worry about anything. Trust me, as soon as you register, you don't have to worry about anything. We've got you. We'll start communicating with you within 24 hours. We'll bring you into our sisterhood, if you will. I don't like that word. We're going to bring you into the Shed. We're in Colorado. So we are located in Colorado, but we work with anybody across the United States. Okay. So you do not have to be in Colorado to do the Shed. This is 100% virtual. Okay, everyone. Any final questions, thoughts? I love that you're all here tonight. I love that you showed up for yourself and you got curious. It tells me that you're interested, you're either ready or you're getting ready to make this change for yourself, and you're ready, I think, to do it a little bit differently, which I don't blame you. Okay, I've got your back. Please stay in touch. I hope you consider joining us for the March 2nd cohort. Best wishes to you all. Take care, to your health. Good night, everyone.